Even if you are adamantly against AI and its usage, you've probably used AI in one way or another today. From voice assistants to predictive text to personalized recommendations on streaming platforms. Zelda, don't eat my hair. Google has even shared that the YouTube platform is now using AI as well. At this point, it's all around us, isn't it, Zelda? I know, it's unfortunate. But with AI comes a ton of data collection, and that is where we need to talk about privacy. Hey, what's up, s'mores? I'm Shannon Morse, that was Zelda, and today I am back with day 17 of my 30-day security challenge. You have been making amazing progress so far, and today we are diving into AI and large language models, or LLMs for short, like the ones powering devices that we use every single day. Now, if you are following along, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next video. You can grab the full 30-day challenge checklist and my notes over at shannonrmorse.com. So let's go ahead and get started with why this all matters. Well, AI and LLMs are pretty much everywhere now. You probably use AI-powered devices more than you realize. Everything from your smartphone to your smart speaker, virtual assistants, even home security systems have AI built in nowadays. The convenience is overwhelming, but AI constantly collects data about you in the process, like your voice and speech patterns if you use voice assistants, search history for recommendations and search algorithms, location data to tailor results and services, behavioral data like how you interact with apps, websites, and devices. The cat is back. This data allows AI to improve your experience, but it also means companies can store a massive amount of personal information about you, sometimes without your explicit knowledge. And it might be buried in the terms of service somewhere, but well, I don't know about y'all, but nobody is reading those. Now, I'm going to teach you how to disable and remove this data collection so you can have more control over your privacy. You will notice in some cases that removing AI is nearly impossible to do, and you may have to switch to a new privacy-conscious app, a device, or a whole operating system entirely to get away from AI usage. For consumers, a lot of the steps are convoluted and hidden super deep into settings menus. Manufacturers and big tech firms, they want you to use AI. They are betting a ton of money on AI, and they want you to be just complicit and appreciate it. One of the reasons it took me so long to write this video is because it's so hard to figure out how to get rid of AI on some of these devices. And also, depending on when you update your operating system, it's changing constantly in terms of how to remove it. So by the time you see this video, my tutorial might not make absolute sense. There might be a few changes along the way. It's very frustrating, but I did my best, so here goes. All right, let's get started with Android devices. Android phones use AI for everything from Google Assistant to Gemini to personalized recommendations in apps like Google Play and YouTube. Also, some smartphone manufacturers also build in their own AI assistants, so you have to consider both Google's Android AI assistant as well as the one from your smartphone brand. For example, Samsung has Galaxy AI. Now, assuming you don't want to switch over to something like Graphene OS, more on alternative operating systems in a future video, I promise, here's how you can disable AI data collection and improve your privacy for Android. So Google Assistant, which is now being replaced by Gemini at time of recording, is an AI-powered tool, and it is commonly listening and collecting data on your voice commands. For my example, I am using a fully updated Samsung phone. On Samsung, you will go to Settings, click on Google, then click on All Services and scroll down pretty far down to Search, Assistant, and Voice. And from here, click on Google Assistant, and if you scroll all the way down, that will give you a pretty good idea of how much data is collected and used. Now click the option that says Digital Assistance from Google. At the bottom, in pretty small text, it says you can turn off your digital assistant from Google at any time. Click on that, then click on Web and App Activity. From here, scroll down just a little bit and click on Delete to delete all of your data from the Web and App Activity screen. And you can actually customize this menu as well. Now go back to that menu that says Digital Assistance from Google, click that delete notice again, and click on Gemini App Activity. Click on the On button and choose Turn Off or Turn Off and Delete History. Click Got It, and then Delete Activity, then Delete. All right, now we go back one more time to that Digital Assistance from Google menu and click Turn Off in that Delete pop-up. Nothing's gonna change on the page, but if you successfully turned it off, this is the screen that you should see if you click on the Gemini menu. Now, if you choose to leave either of these assistants on, make sure to go through the long list of features and customize which ones you want enabled or disabled. For example, go into the Google settings, click on your profile picture, choose your account, then click Manage Your Google Account, click Data and Privacy, then click Web and App Activity, and uncheck the box for Include Voice and Audio Activity to stop saving audio to your account. Now, this setting controls whether your voice-audio interactions with Google services like Assistant and Search are recorded and saved to your Google account history. Now go back to that All Services menu, scroll down to Search Assistant and Voice again, then click on Gemini, go to Screen Context, and disable it. You can also find this setting under that long list in the Google Assistant menu. Under General, then click Disable Screen Context. Now, if you are using a Samsung phone, to disable most of the features of Galaxy AI, open your settings, go to Galaxy AI, then click on each of those features, like Call Assist, Note Assist, etc., and toggle them to off. Also important, scroll down to the bottom of this menu and toggle Process Data Only on Device. Now, some apps also have AI features built into them that you can actually disable. Go into your camera app, for example. On the preview screen, tap on the settings icon and disable intelligent optimization options. You can also disable AI optimization by choosing to take photos in Pro mode, aka RAW, which saves the photos without AI's post-processing. I would also recommend disabling AI settings for other apps, such as photo or video editing apps, social media, translators, etc. Now, obviously, your mileage may vary in terms of where all of these different settings are. You may need to search up how to disable AI for your specific smartphone and your specific firmware update. Now, if you're finding this video helpful, one of the really easy ways to say thank you is by subscribing. It's free, it only takes one click on the subscribe button, then you'll be able to see all the rest of my security challenge videos recommended for you. And if you are following along with the challenge, make sure to turn on the notifications so you don't miss the next video. You can grab the full checklist and my daily recap over at shannonrmorse.com. And a big Patreon shout out to my s'mores. You can join them and support my channel by going over to patreon.com/shannonmorse for perks like early video access and my private Discord. And as usual, all the videos on my channel are free to watch, and I thank my YouTube members and my patrons for making that possible. Okay, now we're gonna focus on iPhones. Apple is often praised for its privacy-first stance, but it does collect data via Siri and Apple services, as well as the new AI, which is called Apple Intelligence. For example, I am using a fully up-to-date iPhone 17 Pro. Now, to disable the main Apple Intelligence features, open the Settings app, scroll down, and tap on Apple Intelligence and Siri. Tap the toggle next to Apple Intelligence to turn it off, and confirm this by also tapping Turn Off when you get a pop-up message. Now, to manage other AI-powered features, for inline text prediction, go to Settings, General, Keyboard, and turn off Show Predictions inline. For screen time restrictions for writing tools, image creation, extensions, etc., go to Settings, Screen Time, Content and Privacy Restrictions, Intelligence, and Siri to allow or disallow specific features. Now, this requires you to already be using or have the content and privacy restrictions enabled. Now, it's good to note here that Apple Intelligence is opt-in at time of recording, so if it's not enabled already, it's probably still off by default. Also, iPhones do use some basic non-Apple Intelligence features like autocorrect, which is going to be a system-level feature. Lastly, let's talk about desktop computers and whether you are using using Windows or macOS, because both of those operating systems rely on AI to provide a more personalized experience, but they also collect data. So here's how to disable it. On Windows 10 or 11, my laptop is a little too old to have a Copilot key, but if you do have one, you can actually remap it. At time of recording, this is how you change it according to Microsoft. Open Settings, Personalization, Text Input, then click Customize Copilot key on your keyboard. You can then change the Copilot key to a different AI experience, or you can choose Search to change it to open Search in your Start menu. Another option is to change it using a tool called Power Toys, a Microsoft app. Power Toys, that's hard for me to say for some reason. Uninstalling Copilot is also a thing. Now, to uninstall Copilot, go to the Start menu, search for Copilot, right-click the Copilot result, and select Uninstall. If you also have Microsoft 365 Copilot on your PC, which is another thing, you can use the same steps to also uninstall that one too. It will probably get reinstalled after Microsoft updates, so make sure to check this periodically whenever you update your machine. Now, according to reports, if you are an admin and using managed devices, you can now remove it entirely, but only if Copilot has not been opened by the user in the last 28 days, so disable it launching at startup, and the device must be a managed device. Now, for admins, the policy is called Remove Microsoft Copilot App, and I will link a reference post down below in my description for directions on how to do that. Now, Recall is an AI tool meant to help you search through snapshots to find specific information, but it's also very controversial too, because it takes snapshots of your display. You will know if it came on your PC if you find it under your settings, privacy and security, and recall. Within this menu, you can actually disable the snapshots. Now, according to this handy Microsoft document, you can also disable it entirely. Since I'm using a non-Copilot Plus PC, I do not have access to this in my settings because Recall does not exist on my computer. So I will link this reference in my description as well. Lastly, we have macOS. Now, on macOS, you want to open System Settings, navigate to AI Settings, and click on Apple Intelligence and Siri. From here, toggle the switch to off next to Apple Intelligence. If you do get a pop-up here, confirm by clicking Turn off Apple Intelligence to confirm your choice. Now, in 2026, AI and LLMs are more integrated than ever, and while they can offer some convenience, they often rely on massive amounts of personal data. Be cautious of AI-powered services like chatbots, smart home devices, and even social media apps that use AI to tailor content. In most cases, these systems do collect, store, and process your data for training purposes. Some LLMs use your conversations to improve their algorithms. Be mindful of terms of service whenever you use these services, and opt out if possible or limit sharing of sensitive data. Always review privacy settings for AI assistants and smart home devices to limit data collection. Also, just a little TLDR, all LLMs are generative AI, and all generative AI is AI, but not vice versa. LLMs are the text generating part within the broader Gen AI landscape, which itself lives under this vast umbrella of AI. That's a very, very simplistic way to separate and understand those two terminologies that I use kind of interchangeably in this video. And that is it for day 17. You have now taken control of your AI and data collection settings across Android, that was my cat, iPhone, and desktop. Tomorrow for day 18, we are gonna dive into security hygiene, just a basic security hygiene overall emphasis. That's a phrase I have been using a lot to define your all-encompassing, secure, and private mindset, so we're gonna deep dive into that on day 18. If you have found today's video helpful, make sure to give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and grab your checklist at shannonrmorse.com. I'm Shannon Morse, and I'll see you for day 18. Bye, y'all.